Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News, held live Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for today's lead story, here's our host, Chillie Falls. Hey, good morning and welcome to a special edition breaking news story of the morning concerning the Carnival Glory. Folks, finally, it has sailed. As a matter of fact, as I'm taping this, or I'm live, as I'm saying this on the air, 12 minutes ago, the Carnival Glory sailed from New Orleans. So here's what's happened. Of course, everybody's familiar with the collision between the Glory and the Legend down in Cozumel. They got it back to New Orleans with some pretty hefty damage to the Carnival Glory. They told all the passengers that were set to sail yesterday to come to the boat late and be on board by 5 o'clock yesterday. They were supposed to sail at 3:30 in the afternoon to get on the ship late. And everybody be in place by 5 o'clock, and they would sail at midnight. Everything else was fine. They had plenty of course, the food and everything for the cruise, and everybody got to their cabins and all that. And the workmen were started working. Now, what happened while it was at sea coming back from Cozumel, they had crews on board the ship that did a lot of the cleanup work and just getting it ready for the repairman. It was a mess. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of the pictures. There's a matter of fact, there's one of the pictures that all that crap had to be cleaned up. And then you have to worry about making it weather sound, because if it sails and gets into, bad weather, you got to worry about what's going to happen underneath that, then down below that. So, and it's got to be safe, number one, for the passengers. And of course, it's got to be sound for the rest of the ship. So they did all the cleanup work while it was en route. And some of the cosmetic stuff that they could do on board the ship. And then basically what happened, it got into port and a crew jumped on the end of the boat and started working on it. And they just, I don't have pictures of it, but I've seen a couple pictures that they installed some plates to cover up those holes to make it cosmetically pleasing and make it as sound as possible. I'm sure they had to, the Coast Guard had to inspect, and probably the Mississippi River folks had to inspect before they let the ship sail again to make sure that it was seaworthy and sound. Of course, this didn't affect the seaworthiness of the ship. It was just, the cosmetic effect on the end, and one of the dining rooms damaged. But anyway, they finally got that done. Again, they were going to sail by midnight last night. Well, it took longer than they expected. And the passengers who were on board the Glory, expecting to wake up this morning at sea, woke up this morning and they're still in New Orleans. So finally, as we speak, a couple hours ago, it was announced that they would be underway soon. And finally, about an hour ago, which would be approximately 9 a.m. Central Standard Time in New Orleans, it was announced that the ship would be underway at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and that they had plans on being on schedule for the rest of the duration of the cruise, as far as the ports of call. Now, they had already said that they were going to move Tuesday's call from Cozumel to Friday. So I'm assuming they're going to go on that schedule with the Cozumel on the back end as opposed to the front end. But anyway, the Carnival Glory is now 16 minutes underway, working its way down the Mississippi River toward the Gulf And I just checked over to check my comments, and Jason is there. Looks like they sealed it off on the outside and built a wall on the inside. That's what I appear. And without having anybody actually on board that I've talked to, I'm just going from what I've been able to see and seen from the port camera and so forth. Jason, I think you're probably right about that. Matter of fact, Jason sent me a message a little bit earlier that I needed to do an update. And I was on the road at the time, and I was also trying to wait till the boat got underway, or at least I knew it was going to be underway, because when I left the computer this morning, they still didn't know when it was going to go. So anyway, excuse me for a quick sip. By the way, folks, my schedule ended up changing for this week, as I'm supposed to be out at the horse farm for the next 5 nights or something. Well, they ended up having some family issues with having flu, and so they were actually at the airport this morning loading their stuff onto the plane to fly to the Bahamas. And the daughter called and said, "Look, guys, don't come. We got 5 of us have the flu." So they had to cancel their trip out, which means I get some time that I wasn't counting on through the Christmas holidays. So that's fine. So anyway, I'm here now. So I still got a lot of pets and running around craziness to do, but I won't be staying out at the horse farm. So anyway, Jason sent me a message that I needed to update, which I agreed with. I told him as soon as I get home, I'm going to do an upgrade. Well, then I found out that they had announced it was going to sail at 10. And I wanted to make sure that it was underway, which I did. So anyway, the Carnival Glory is on its way. Is there anything else about this story that I needed to mention? It'll sail at 10. I knew that it wasn't announced. And the 6 guests that were injured originally were all minor injuries. And nobody apparently was hospitalized. And of course, Carnival has been sending emails out, keeping everybody apprised, and of course, the change in schedule and so forth. So anyway, Carnival Glory is underway. The Legend, by the way, was not damaged as much. It sailed on schedule yesterday. So it's on its way wherever it was going now. And now the Glory is at least heading where it's supposed to go. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to get to Cozumel, but I'm thinking Cozumel will be Friday as opposed to tomorrow. So anyway, as always, appreciate you guys being with me. I always appreciate the thumbs up that you give me. And if you're not a subscriber to this channel, you want to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports and call cruises themselves. My interview is called Chillie Chats, and of course, travel and cruise industry news, normally held Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Just hit the little subscribe button. So anyway, that's going to wrap us up for today. I will keep you apprised of any updates as they come available to me. So this is the Fat Travel Guy. Later, y'all. That about wraps up today's travel and cruise industry news. We hope to see you next time. We meet here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This broadcast was produced by Chillie's Cruises and hosted by me, Chillie Falls.